You have to decide if you want to be a wolf or a sheep. Get your ink or go give him a hand. Okay? Like, honestly, I'm going to take you back 20 years, man, because I've been processing this since last night, as we all have, okay?
All right.
How the hell you lose two 25-point leads in the same damn game at the crib? Let's get that out the way. But I want to go back to coming up on 20 years ago, May 25th, 2002. Does that date ring a bell, Michael? May 25th, 2002.
Oh, I know what it was. May 25th, 2002. Was that Celtics Nets at the Garden? 21-point lead.
Game 3. 26-point lead.
Celtics.
I was there. I was sitting courtside under the basket. I watched the biggest comeback in NBA history unfold before my eyes at TD Garden. The Celtics over Jason Kidd and Richard Jefferson's New Jersey Nets in Game 3. And you know what?
Shout out Secaucus.
But you know what every writer said the next day? There's no coming back from that. It's over. They took their heart. They took their soul. That's a wrap.
I wrote it.
And lo and behold.
I wrote it. Yep.
Lo and behold, the Nets won the series. Now, I say that to say this. I believe I know how this movie ends. It's just a matter of when. And it's a matter of what the Wolves do between now and what I believe is the inevitable, and that is the Grizzlies, the better team, winning this series. I said after Game 2 that I felt like order had been restored. That was chaos last night. The Grizzlies came out victorious, but I think the Grizzlies win this series. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna go to Birdman on you here.
All right, now, come on now.
The Wolves are done, but they're not finished.
Okay.
All right. And what I mean by that is, that's why I started off with training day. It's like, oh, you want to be a wolf or a sheep? Karl Anthony Towns, you want to be an alley cat or you want to be a kitten? Does cat want to be a kitten? Do you want to have this self-fulfilling prophecy continue to manifest itself the rest of this series? Because it's like we think that Karl Anthony Towns has no heart. We think that the Timberwolves don't have what it takes in here and up here.
I don't think that. To
be a threat. Some people think it. A lot of people say it. A lot of people think it.
A lot of people say it. A lot of people say it, though.
Yeah, a lot of people think it. A lot of people think they know it.
Right.
Now is when we find out. See, if I'm Chris Finch, if I'm the head coach, I'm playing all the comments. I'm playing Game 3 of the 2002 Eastern Conference playoffs between Celtics and Nets and saying, remember this, and it turned out where the team that blew that lead won the series. Okay. I'm playing that. Okay. I'm playing film from last night. And I'm saying, hey, it's real hard to blow. I'm saying it's real hard to blow two 25-point leads in one game. It's real hard to build two 25-point leads in one game. They did a lot of things right last night. That's what I'm telling the team if I'm Chris Finch today. And I'm playing all the commentary about how dumb we are, how immature we are. The Timberwolves are a laughingstock for a different reason today than they have been throughout most of their recent history. So what are they going to do about it is the question.
Yeah.
Because we think they're not built for the playoffs, as Draymond Green was subtly but not so subtly kind of subtweeting in his press conference. But we're going to find out for sure in Game 4 based on their response. So I think the Grizzlies still win this series. What I'm looking for is, do the Timberwolves, remember we talked about when they had that excessive celebration when they clinched the playoffs, and I said they're celebrating the beginning of something, not the culmination of something. This ain't about necessarily this series, which is still in the balance. This is about who do you want to be as a franchise? Who do you want to be as a franchise player, Karl Anthony Towns? What do you want to be known as, Anthony Edwards? Patrick Beverley, you just want to be some clown that has the nerve to say John Morant is too small, even when you get your shot blocked? Or do you actually want to be a part of this franchise taking a step forward this year and moving forward? So I'm not necessarily suggesting that the Timberwolves are everything people said they were last night on TV and on Twitter and what they've been saying today. But we're gonna find out if it's true or not. What do you want to be? You want to be a wolf?
This is so good.
or sheep?
This is really good. For so many reasons. One, let's start with the sound from Draymond. I love when guys talk like this because I agree with it. I agree with it. The playoffs are different. They should be different. The officials call the game differently. The fans are into it. The players are into it. And you know, some guys rise. They have a knack for rising in the playoffs. And some guys play smaller. Some guys are just small. Some guys play smaller. Some guys are just small in the playoffs. Just the way it goes. Brad Stevens, you mentioned the Celtics example. Brad Stevens said something on Boston radio yesterday. He said, hey guys, talking to the host, I know we're up 2-0 on Brooklyn, but game three is the game in the series, especially when you got game 3 on the road, where you find out who you are. He said, so I want to see if we can go in there and compete and and scratch and get a win. You know, he's confident in his team, but hey, let's not start celebrating after 2 games because it's the dynamics of a series. Which leads me, I'm gonna stay in Boston. Your example from Nets, Celtics, 2000. You said 2002, May 25th, 2002.
2002, almost 20 years ago.
All right,
we're getting old.
All right, so. If Chris Finch, if he's going to come up with those examples of, hey, let me just show you this tape in the pre-high def era, I'm going to show you the Celtics coming back from a 21-point deficit in the second half to the New Jersey Nets, and Paul Pierce standing on the table after the game, standing on the table. It was only game 3. They won game 3. They went up 2-1. He's standing on the table. If you're going to do that, he should know his history. And I just heard this the other day. I wish I had known this years ago. This would have been better. But I just found it out maybe, Mike, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Once a reporter, always a reporter. Yeah. You're always reporting. You're always finding out stuff from what you thought you knew. So one of the players on the New Jersey Nets from 2002, Brian Scalabrine, told me this story. He said all year long, I said, what happened?
He was on that Nets team?
He was.
I didn't remember that.
He was.
That's crazy. That's how
he was. Yep. Scal was on that team. Richard Jefferson, Kenyon Martin, Jay Kidd. Obviously, Jay Kidd was the star.
Yeah.
What's the man's name from Villanova? Kerry Kittles. Kerry Kittles there.
Kerry Kittles, New Orleans zone.
Keith Van Horn. They're a good team. Keith Van Horn. They're a good team.
Yeah, it was a really good team. That's the ones that went to the finals. Yeah.
Went to the finals twice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I said, man, Paul Pierce used to kill y'all. He said, man, you know what it was? He said, Byron Scott, every time Paul Pierce would kill us, Byron Scott would come in and be like, hey, look, fellas, we ain't doubling Paul Pierce. Like, I played against Michael Jordan. We ain't double Michael Jordan. We ain't doubling. We're going to double Paul Pierce. We ain't double Michael Jordan. Paul Pierce kill him again. Hey, fellas, we ain't doubling Paul Pierce. After that game 3, the fellas gather around. We're going to double Paul Pierce. We're going to double Paul Pierce. Right. We're going to double him. My bad. I got it wrong. We doubling him. They threw zones at him. So it was rah-rah, but it was a technical adjustment. So can the coaching staff for the Minnesota Timberwolves, you're going to want to say, oh, all these people are saying this stuff about you. Great. Hey, look what they said on ESPN. Look what they said on Peacock. Look what Michael Holley said. Look what Michael Smith said. Great. That's nice. But what are you going to do, coach, to change some of the dynamics of it? Because it ain't just what people are saying. It's what y'all doing. Like, it's no excuse. Ain't no excuse. Mike, you said it in your feed, and you're right.
You think it's coaching?
It's part of it. It's part of it. It's not all of it. It's all.
Not calling a timeout during a 21-0 run. That's coaching for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying
to me, it's cat. To me, it's cat.
Yeah.
I think it starts with
on
cat.
him too.
I think it's on him primarily. With all due respect to Anthony Edwards, who very well one could argue is or shortly will be the face of that franchise. You can't have as the greatest shooting big man of all time. You can't have back-to-back games where you got more fouls than field goal attempts.
That's terrible. Okay, again, that's terrible.
They can't be doing that much wrong to have had 2 25-point leads in the same game, and they've already beaten the Grizzlies in Memphis. So I don't know that this is necessarily X's and O's as much as it is the Billies and Joes, specifically Karl Anthony Towns.
Well, that's part of it. But what I'm fighting with is your use of the word primarily. Primarily,
okay.
Karl Anthony Towns. Like, look. So they go up early in the first quarter. They have a bad second quarter. So their big lead is shrunk to 7 at halftime. But then in the third quarter, they go on a run again, and they build it back up, and they lose it again. So, some of that is Karl Anthony Towns and his shooting. But what's going on with everybody else? I can't put that on him. This game,
no, it's not solely on him.
Was a win. This is a win. You gotta have this one. I don't care if you blow the first lead and then it gets a little rocky. It turns into an ugly game. You win it by 5. Okay, fine. You can't blow 2 leads and then lose it. You have a 12-point fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now that they did,
and a lot of other people.
But now that they did, it's just a matter of, are you going to go out like some suckers? Or are you going to go out like punks? Or are you going to be what everybody says you are? And this is the cool part about it. If you're Minnesota, it's like the choice is yours. Choice is yours. The series ain't over if you're Minnesota.
Is the choice theirs? Is the choice theirs in what sense? Or how they're going to approach it, or what the result's going to be? How they're going to approach it?
Well, I think it's both. I mean, and technically it's both. I believe that Minnesota ultimately wins, that Memphis ultimately wins this series. Wins it. It's what I saw coming in. It's 2-1 now. That's what you have? You have Memphis in 7.
Memphis in 7. Tough series.
Okay, let's play that out. So you still see this as a 7-game series. So for all the reasons that you said before last night, right? 2 teams that haven't really done anything in the playoffs, young teams, inexperienced. Right. Okay, that's great. And if Minnesota pushes this to a 7-game series, in my mind, that is a win for them. Win or lose. What I mean by that is now they're being written off.
To be able to overcome this. Yeah.
Right now, Minnesota's being written off. To me, this is bigger than just the first round of these playoffs. You have a young team that's gone where very few Timberwolves teams have gone in recent memory, which is why they stood on the table and celebrated and went crazy and partied like it was 1999 when they clinched a playoff berth. That's why. Right. So, here and now, this is when you decide what you want your legacy and your reputation to be, so that the people like Draymond Green aren't talking about you when they say the playoffs ain't for everybody. Yeah. So and look, problems are just opportunities that haven't presented themselves yet. So if I'm Minnesota, I'm looking at this as an opportunity to push back against the narrative of what we are and what we aren't, specifically Karl Anthony Towns. So I'm more curious than I am concerned about Minnesota.
Play your game. Play your game. You got the talent. You've got the talent to do it. You've got a good matchup. This is a good matchup in the series. It's not like Memphis.
They're not running away with it,
so they can't play with them.
They're not running them off the court.
They represented the Twin Cities and Prince, your 1999 reference. They represented the Twin Cities well on the night of the play-in. The way they played that game, the way they celebrated that game. But on the anniversary, when there was a great celebration at Paisley Park, right up the street from where they were playing yesterday, I guess it was a great scene. There were 199 Prince fans from around the world, because that facility wouldn't allow more than 200. So they had 199 Prince fans celebrating the life, the legacy, the music, the unpredictability, the genius of Prince Rogers Nelson. And right down the street, these fools are blowing 220-plus point leads. That's a shame. Basketball playing Prince, basketball fan Prince would be very disappointed. But they got an opportunity in Minnesota for Game 4.
That's what I'm saying. They could make this a series. Again, forget what I think, which is that Minnesota was going to win it. You got, I keep saying that. Damn, maybe it's a Freudian slip.
But see,
Memphis is going to win it. Ooh. Oh, man, I've done that twice.
No.
I think Memphis is going to win the series.
What kind of series?
You have Memphis in 7. You have Memphis in 7.
You think this is a close series, or you think this really just, they did take their heart?
Okay.
And it's over. It's over in 5.
setting aside my pep rally, my halftime, my locker room speech to the Timberwolves, setting that aside. Grizzlies in 6. Grizzlies in 6.
All right.
Like I think that the Grizzlies, I think the Timberwolves, even the series, I really do think, listen, man, I don't want to believe that Karl Anthony Towns, or the Timberwolves for that matter, are what people say they are what people think they are. I want to believe that he's got, I want to believe that he's got more to him than what we've seen these last 2 games in particular. I want to believe that about him until proved otherwise. So I'm going to give the Wolves, I think they get up and they punch back in game 4 and even this series. Then I think Memphis goes up and then Memphis closes it out at the Target Center. But at least, if nothing else, win some respect. Like, look, man, if I'm gonna lose a fight, I'm gonna get some licks in. You gonna know you've been in a fight.
Okay.
You know, the question is,
I'm just gonna point out again.
I'm hoping that the Timberwolves don't just roll over and everything about, oh, they took their heart, they took their soul.
Right.
You know, I just hope that's not the case for them, for their sake.
Here's something to look out for, though. Here's something to look out for. I know Minnesota is, get those jokes off, get those memes off on the Timberwolves, but keep in mind, the other side celebrating and Ja tweeting still ain't won a series. So they may be celebrating a little bit too much. Y'all ain't won a series. You never won a series. So Minnesota doesn't have to earn your respect. You have to earn their respect too. You're both in the same category. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.